Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self-harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised, a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not exposed. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slater Jackson, and for you freaky motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. It is episode 10 of November. I hope you got your drinks. I hope you got your smokes. I hope you got whatever the hell you use to get yourself lit. Unless you got an addiction, I need you to just go ahead and work through that. Drink some water or whatever. Eat some food, eat some snacks. We're not feeding into addictions today. We're not. But for those who are just, out here indulging in their, vices, let's go ahead and get lit today because the port has already came and I'm already gone. So I'm happy to be here with you all. I am so excited because today we were talking about, in a sense, developing a quality queer dating competition show. Does that mean it's going to be specific to the queer community? Maybe not. Who knows? Like, we might be discussing some aspects of Love is Blind, and I kind of want to bring that up because I think Love is Blind with, like, queer people would be amazing, but I also feel like they need to curate that in a proper way. So I'm ready to have that conversation whenever we get to that. Also, if it's possible to have like the Bachelorette or Bachelor or somebody suggested Bachelor X as the name for anybody who's like gender non-conforming. I don't know. I'm intrigued to talk about these dating shows and how can we have like a healthy representation where it's not super like triggering to watch, because look, Love is Blind is triggering as fuck to me, but again, we'll talk about that later. With me to have this conversation, I have the beloved Adrian. Hello, Zaddy. I have Nicole, and also I have my friend Phortise. How is everybody doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Lit. I'm good.
I can definitely tell that you got something going on because I feel like I am on The Price is Right now.
What?
You are bringing
game show vibes.
Look, listen, not The Price is Right. The price for me is paying my bills. That's all that matters. Yes. Or just taking care of these student loans, because look, I still don't know who's paying those shits because I know it ain't me. How you doing, Biden? Message to you directly. You paying this shit? Because it ain't gonna be me. And that's on Confucius. But Phortise, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. I am wonderful. Are y'all ready to go ahead and dive into this conversation about queer dating competition shows and all these great things? I'm sorry, I'm pouring up another cup. Don't judge me. But anyway, y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Adrian, what the fuck are you eating over there? It looks like it's good. That better not be cereal.
It was cereal.
Bitches, that's cereal. I have a problem. That better not be cereal.
It was cereal. Yeah.
Bitch, why? Why?
The oats goes hard no matter what time.
Bitch, I know you did not say
That's
honey
true.
bunches of oats. Is it because of the black woman on the commercials?
She makes me feel good.
She lied to us talking about this was delicious. I cannot believe.
It is delicious.
Is it really?
Yes, you never had it? All them different flavors and shit. Just,
it gives dry. And since we talked about cereal, so I tried Golden Grams, right? I never thought a cereal can be burnt. I never thought that something could be wet and like it was not giving what it needed to give. I was like, oh, I love me some Teddy Grams. I love all these things. It's so delicious. No, that shit was ridiculous. I was hurt. I was like, how the fuck every bite feels like it was in the oven too long? Like, who eats this?
It tastes like U-Haul moving boxes.
What?
Huh?
Wait, what did you say?
It tastes like U-Haul moving boxes. Is that what you said?
Like it's not the bee's knees. We need to go ahead and cancel Golden Grams. Like we just need to do.
I thought they did. To be honest,
Child, I need them to go back into the protest for that because it didn't work. We need it gone. Like, I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it, but it was sweet burnt mess. That's what it was. It had a sugary flavor to it, and it was all well done, overdone actually.
Not well done.
Like,
all well done.
I was not ready. It was giving cardboard. It was giving all the things.
That's what you get. Don't eat that bullshit.
Okay, honey bunches and oats.
Listen, honey bunches of oats did nothing to anybody.
They bang,
Right.
no. Why are you hating?
It's a solid cereal.
It's a tasty snack.
I'll give it a
Right.
try. I'll give it a try because I can't really judge it if I haven't tried it. So that's
You can
fair.
dress
Honestly,
it up,
you're not going to
sit
be worse
down.
than...
It's everything.
Right. And it's not going to be worse than whatever the
Yeah.
hell you eat.
Yeah, I don't think
8
anything
grams
is worse
of
than
milk or
that.
whatever.
Look, I would rather have soggy frosted flakes than eating that again.
That's gross. That's
Exactly.
saying something.
Granted, I know there's some people out there who love them some soggy cereal. Fuck you.
Mhm.
Directly to you.
That was real direction.
I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all have a brave stomach. I love that for you all. I don't want to replicate that for myself. That fuck you was with love because I still have love for you, but I need you to reevaluate your life choices. You might be in an abusive relationship with cereal, and that's not okay. Yes, your mouth and stomach deserve better. And I feel okay. I know I'm being judgy now. So who on this panel eat soggy cereal? Let's go ahead and talk about it.
I mean, what's your definition of soggy?
I mean, I'm not a rich bitch, so if I started the cereal and it's got a 5-minute till soggy period, and we on minute 6, am I eating it? Of course.
That's Frosted Flakes. Actually, that is actually Fruity Pebbles. They got a time limit on theirs. Oh, I don't eat Rice Krispies. I tried them, but I hate having to add sugar.
How did you manage to condescend my like of Rice Krispie treats? Did you just hear that rejection?
I did.
Rice Krispie treats. Oh. I don't eat Rice Krispies.
Right. It was the way that he sounded so much better than you just now.
Yes.
First of all,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Wow.
I'm judging. I told you.
Don't do that.
We are
Hold on,
judging
what's your-
on
so
cereal.
wait, so hold on. So what is your cereal, Mr. I don't like soggy shit? You don't eat cereal then, huh?
You eat
Not
fucking
often.
Purina.
Not-
For real?
That's what you eat, doctor.
So first of all, I love me some Frosted Flakes. It has a good 7-minute window before it gets soggy, so you have to start quickly. So
Or eat small ass bowls. Ew.
who the fuck are you, Nicole?
She ate your ass up.
We are not eating small bowls of Frosted Flakes. The
Said,
fuck?
portion control, motherfucker.
Fuck it, like for real. You know that it's 1 cup per serving. No, I'm getting
Nobody
2.
ever does that.
Exactly. So Frosted Flakes.
We all eat like 3 times the recommended serving size when it comes to cereal, and cereal for sure, but a lot of other things.
Exactly. I would say outside of Frosted Flakes, I do love me some Cheerios. They got a good 10 to 15 minute before sogginess. And I love me some what is it? The Captain Crunch. Not the one with the berries because that's too sweet for me. Just the general, the ones that cut the top of your throat. Your gums, those motherfuckers. I love them all by themselves, and that lasts a good 20 minutes.
You want to hear a funny story? So I was smoking with, I don't even know who I was smoking with, someone I cared about, I guess. Anyway, I was like, yo, bro, what if, because we were eating Captain Crunch Oops All Berries. And I was like, dude, what if we ate Oops All Crunches? And then his sister walked up and was like, Oops All Crunches? So Captain Crunch, motherfucker. What the fuck do you think Captain Crunch is? Nah, that's not it. Like,
oh my god.
I'm weak. That was definitely a whole high ass moment for you. Oh no.
Definitely. Now I refer to Captain Crunch OG as Oops All Crunch. I like that better.
That is clever. That was a real clever name though. I really like it. But that is hilarious. Like, you mean regular Captain Crunch? Stop smoking.
I'm done. Yeah, you high at that point. You way too high. Let's go ahead and give you another blunt because I need to know what other foolishness you're going to say because I'm here for it all. I'm here for it all. I would say another one is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch because it has a buttery taste to it, and I'm like, bitch, give me the butter. But at the same time, I can't eat those frequently because after a while it's super sweet and I have an adversity to sweetness. So like, yeah, I can't do those every weekend. But I think that's it.
On buttery taste, by the way. Like, as soon as you said it has a buttery taste, I was like, it does?
Yes. I look, my taste buds be tasting a little bit of butteriness, and I'm like, oh, bitch, what you doing? What you doing to my taste buds? You better be dancing, bitch. Phortise, you got any cereal for yourself that you like to eat?
Honestly, it's just Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted Wheat, and probably sometimes Honey Bunches of Oats.
Oh my god! So what you telling me is that I'm on a panel with a bunch of Honey Bunches and Oats bitches. I cannot.
You just go ahead and try it. The thing about it is you hating outside of the club.
I am.
You ain't even try to get in. Get you a box of Honey Bunches of Oats. There's different kinds, different flavors. So just get your feet wet.
I've tried the yogurt ones. Now that I think about it, I've tried the ones that had the yogurt little chunks in it back in the day. I did not like those. The yogurt really threw me off. But I will give another one a try. But
I don't remember Honey Bunches of Oats having the yogurt clusters. That sounds like the Special K one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I know that
Special K.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Oh, well, that might be what I had then.
What the fuck y'all talking about?
Cereal still. We haven't even gone into the dating competition shows because the cereal discussion was a lot more important, to be honest.
What cereal had yogurt though?
I think it was that Special K fruit and yogurt cereal. I only know about it because I used to eat it. That's the only one that I know that has yogurt clusters. I don't remember Honey Bunches of Oats having it. Maybe I'm wrong though.
I am still open to trying it still. So I just needed to be one of those little, the old cereal things that you can get it at school. I need one of those because I'm not going to spend the money on a box and not like it. So we're not doing that. And also, just to put it out there, Trix is delicious. Not delicious, disgusting. That's what I meant to say.
About to say.
I've tried them. They go from soggy like real quick, and then like it's not where it's at. Wait, Phortise, you didn't speak up on that. Are you one of those soggy? You like your cereal soggy or no?
I'm not gonna tell you no story. Whenever it gets soggy for me, I end up losing my appetite and I throw it out.
He's a bougie bitch. I love it. I love it. I'm not gonna say I throw mine out. I do finish it, but I can't, like, something about it being too soggy is unappetizing. Like with noodles. If my noodles, like if I have some ramen noodles and I put those in the microwave and they get too soggy, I can't eat them. I will literally like start to dry heave in the process of trying to eat the noodles. It might be some childhood trauma in that, but I need to work through that in therapy. But at the same time, it's still not tasty. It's not for me. I need mine not to have a crunch to it, but I need it to be a little bit of a sturdy texture to it, because if not, I'm not trying to fuck with it. Okay. Now that we talked about everything that's not really related to the episode, let's get into some dating competition shows. So who do we all watch or have watched at least one season of Love is Blind?
No.
I haven't.
I'm the only one that's seen it. Oh my! I need y'all to, throwback to last episode. If you're the person that has the Netflix in your household, I need you to watch at least season 1 of Love is Blind. So essentially what the show's premise is it gets people into having conversations with people like behind a wall. And the purpose is that you need to fall in love with the people based off of the conversation versus their appearances. So it's the purpose of the show is to see if love is really blind. So you're having these in-depth conversations, you're talking, you know, becoming more vulnerable with these other people, telling them about your past, telling them about your wants and desires and all the great things. And then after you're like, oh, I want to propose to this person. I love them so much. I want to see who they are. I want to love on them and be with them and embrace them. All the great things. The one person proposed to the other person. And once they accept, I guess it's the next day, a couple hours after the proposal, they then meet up. There's like a quick reveal, and they either warm embrace and love on each other and accept the proposal, or they reject the person because they're not physically attracted to them, and that's the end of that relationship. But you know, the beginning for the other ones that accept their proposal. And then after that, their relationships transition to being a little bit more physical. You get to cuddle with your partner. I think a lot of them engage in sex with their partners and all these other things because adults are going to do adult things. And then they experience what it's like to live in a real world together, live in each other's homes, all the great things. And the goal is to see if they're married after, I think, 90 days or some shit like that. And at that point, they either accept the marriage and, you know, move forward, or they just essentially be like, no, I'm not getting married to you at the altar. So that's the premise of the show. Do either of you think that there's a space for queer people in that kind of environment? Yes or no? And what's your rationale for your perspective?
I would say for lesbians, for sure. Like, they already do that shit, especially ones that meet like online or in a chat room or some shit. So I think it would be most successful with lesbians. As far as like gays or trans couples, I don't know. Like, it could be kind of traumatic. Is kind of a known stereotype or assumption that gay guys are incredibly vain. So that whole getting to know you behind the wall and then I see you and it's like next, like, you know, that could be traumatic for the receiver and overall somewhat damaging to the community in a sense. And then of course with like intersex or trans people, gender non-conforming individuals, it's kind of, I would see it as like a 50-50 success rate. Like, could go really well, could go absolutely horribly, could meet somewhere in the middle. So I think those are, in my opinion, the demographics that would and wouldn't work.
Fair. Oh, is that you, Phortise?
What happened?
Oh, I thought you said you agreed.
Oh no, I did agree. Oh, I know, I agree with Adrian's statement.
Nicole or Phortise, do either of you have anything that y'all want to add on that? No? Cool.
Well, actually, yeah, just like real quick. I mean, no, because I agree with everything Adrian's saying. One thing I was thinking about though is, do you think that for the other groups, as far as like the non-binary and gender non-conforming, for the percentage that you think could go wrong, do you think some of the reasons that it could go wrong is because of the same kind of trauma that you could potentially see if it was just gays on it?
Yeah, for sure. And even a different, level uniquely to them in their experience. Mm-hmm. For instance, like if you have, pre-op versus post-op, or, someone who is just accepting that, they may be multiple genders or non-gendered or whatever, but someone who's further along in that journey, there's a not intelligence gap, but there's a comfortability or acceptance gap that provides its own stresses and traumas should it become an issue. So yes, partially some of what would happen if it was just the gays, but also something uniquely to their situation too.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I would say, I've met some gay men who and bi men who are like amazing and don't necessarily fall under that spectrum of being vain. But I've also met a lot more who are just vain and just look into the physical appearance or just the outside rather than digging deeper. So I do see the flaw of trying to engage with just gay men in that aspect. And I also, because one of the things that the show does is that they split people up into separate like quadrants or rooms, and the way that they split people up are like those who are men versus those who are women. And I'm thinking about how do they break that up in terms of if it were to just be single gendered people who were to engage in trying to like romance each other and find those relationships and get married, because they have the opportunity to engage with other people within the same space, because you have like the queer people in room 1 and queer people, well, gay men in room 1, gay men in room 2, or lesbian women room 1, lesbian women room 2. So they have the opportunity to build these relationships within that. So I'm wondering is, if they were to do that, are they going to like break it down between tops, bottoms, or dom subs, or like make that the trope of how they split people up and how they engage with each other? But even at that, you still have top relationships, bottom relationships, and whatever variety that you see within that. So I think like if they were to engage with queer people to have this show, I only see it truly working out for a lot of lesbian couples, because from what I've heard, because of course I have not ever been a lesbian in my life, I just don't have the equipment for that, but from what I've heard from a lot of lesbian friends is that you have a lot more forthcoming conversations versus what I've experienced engaging with other bi men or gay men or queer men. I don't have that same level of conversation that I might experience with someone who may be of the feminine persuasion or female or woman. So I don't see the gay version of Love is Blind going super far, because there are those implicit biases that are held within the queer community, well, within the gay community, that needs to be addressed. And a lot of that is affirming bodily like body image. So I think that will be one of the things that really just makes the season itself seem extremely, extremely vanity driven and toxic in a way.
Agreed.
So if there were to be some kind of show that was like dating competition related, how would you describe the look of that show? What would you like to see from it?
In what way?
Like the cast, or even how they interact with each other, how they meet each other, or like, you know, like you have the Flavor of Love dynamic, you have the I guess Love is Blind dynamic, you have the Bachelor, well, which is essentially the Flavor of Love dynamic too, but you know, that kind of thing. Is it going to be more so like blind dates, if that will be the better option to help people have these conversations and meet their partners and stuff like that?
I think the blind date one is actually a pretty good idea. Because I mean, isn't that what a lot of people do anyway? Essentially, you're meeting a whole stranger.
That's fair. That's fair.
Or like a speed dating.
I would rather speed dating than blind date. To be honest. Like I know, like for me, I will prefer seeing something more of like the Bachelorette, Bachelor, or you know, Flavor of Love kind of dynamic, where you're with these people on a regular basis and you get to know them for who they are as a person, rather than what they look like or what their history is. You know, all those other things. You can actually have in-depth conversations with these people versus just going off of the full frontal image of who they are because they just came into your perspective. But I also think in order to have a show that is fully representative of different communities is to ensure that the persons who's involved in that are very open to a diverse group, meaning interested in more than just a specific race or a specific body type, a specific gendered expression, or even educational background. Like I know, like for myself, like if I were to be on a show, I know that I'll be interested in a wide range of people based off of their gender identity or even how they physically look, because I care about the character more than I care about the looks overall. But myself, I'm not everybody. So I think that's one of the things that they have to look into. Is this person going to provide open space in how they have these conversations? Or when it comes to when they have their meetings, because I'm going off of the Flavor of Love look, the show framework, when they have their conversations about you know, their one-off camera interaction with, you know, the world, are they talking about, oh yeah, I wasn't interested in this person because look, they looked hideous, I don't like that, or their breath stank, or whatever the case is, you know, rather than giving them the benefit of the doubt or exploring their character, we're just listing certain features about them that we just don't appreciate, which furthers the notion that, oh, because this person looks a certain way, I don't need them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or you could just get a show that has a few different layers to it. Something like there's a competition aspect, but also like a speed dating aspect or something. I don't know. I don't know all the features, but something like that could be fun, so that they've got at least a little bit of everything, you know, the getting the quality time, and really getting to know, but also the getting to know somebody, and you're still in a competition with some people, but at the same time, like some, I don't know, healthy options mixed with a little bit of competition.
I think the one show that would translate completely from the hetero world to the LGBTQ, IA plus, LMNOP, blah, blah, blah.
The alphabeters.
Yes. Would be Love Island. Show, you know, it's not really, it's based on gender, but it isn't. Essentially, it's you coupling up with somebody, you know, that you vibe with, and then temptations keep being introduced. And towards the end, we see who's still coupled up. And America votes, and as well as the island votes on who, you know, wins. And they get like money or whatever. But the reason that show can perpetuate itself is because the goal is to basically make monogamy shine through. So like the only thing that probably would be under attack in translating that show to the queer community would be polyamory standards. Like if you're a poly, you will not make it on there. You have to be monogamous to win, which is kind of mean, kind of fucked up. I mean, I'm monogamous in relationships, but outside of relationships, I do whatever I feel like doing. So I don't really have a dog in that fight. But I said I didn't say otherwise, it would translate pretty well because you pick your partner and then, okay, people come in, you get to vibe and meet those people. You decide you still want to link with your partner. You make it through that group, then some more come. You make it through that group, they get progressively hotter. You know, it's a whole thing. It's all about temptation and monogamy. That's who wins.
So this brings up a question, and I would love everybody's perspective on this one. Do you feel as though having a monetary compensation for the quality of your relationship beneficial for the longevity of that relationship? Like, does it mean, like, because at the end of the day you will be rewarded with some money, does that mean that the people who are in that relationship will, you know, continue on or after that, or was it all just for the money?
If it were me and in that situation, I feel that no, like having a monetary, or basically I feel that having a monetary prize is going to be ultimately detrimental to the longevity of that relationship. Because for whatever reason, you know, we could be competitive people and say, hey, we're going to link up so we can win this shit and go our separate ways. And we can provide the most amazing show. Motherfuckers will think that we're going to live happily ever after. And we cash those checks and it's like, see you, motherfucker. And like, that's it. And then again, you know, just as that outcome is possible, is another outcome possible where, you know, we do start out trying to win that shit, but then fuck around and catch feelings for each other. Now we got the money and we got each other. And this shit might just be something, right? Until the money is up. And then I realized how annoying you are when you chew. Or I hate the way you fucking blink in the morning. Like everything about you is pissing me off. There's no money. We spent that. Now I'm just stuck with your ass. Whoa, I want out. You know, I feel like if you're gonna fall in love with somebody, there should not be a monetary gain. One way or the other. You shouldn't go broke falling in love either, but you also shouldn't have game falling in love, because that cheapens the thing that you found. You know, I want a shorty to love me and vibe with me no matter if I got a milli on me or if I got negative money on me. Like I want her to still pucker up regardless of my financial contributions.
Okay, I'll be honest for myself. That negative, it has a value for how much I can love you. But then again, I got student loans, so I can't really be speaking on anything. So because those things fat. So touche. Phortise, Nicole.
No, I'm good.
What about you, Phortise? You got any anything that you'll add about if the monetary means impact the relationship?
I mean, I can't even add anything to that because honestly, I'm picking back off what Adrian said because of those scenarios. The monetary aspect of it will be very adverse to the situation for the people and especially for the quality of the relationship itself. And also, it depends on the person's level of maturity and how self-actualized they are. If they're able to put forth the effort in trying to prioritize the relationship itself instead of the money itself. So it all depends on the circumstances. So
I have two shows that immediately came to mind related to like the monetary contributions that one may get for being in a relationship. The first one is Too Hot to Handle. Great show, love it, but like the premise of the show, I'm just like, it's not making any sense. So essentially, for that show, they get a lot of super attractive people onto an island under the premise that, oh, this is going to be the island where you just engage in sex with people. And again, if I'm being invited to an island for having sex with people, I'm going to fuck the first night within the first hour of being there because, bitch, this is what we're doing here. So on top of that, knowing this aspect of myself, it always gives me, they're just advertising this. People know exactly why they're there. But anyways, but they shift the mode of the show towards building relationships with these other attractive people that's stuck on this island too. And the more people like engage in like kissing, heavy petting, and all this other stuff, that deducts the amount of money that these couples, whoever wins, the favorite couple, whatever they win, they get less money at the end of the experiment, I guess. And I really think that because there's that money attached to, especially on that show, that the relationships themselves don't really have any substantial ground to like move forward, because the motivations of building these connections are all rooted in the prize money that you win at the end of the show, is all rooted in, oh, I finally get the opportunity because I proven to the AI system that we do have a genuine connection. Now we can go off to this room and hook up or whatever and like explore these sexual activities, or even explore like the physical connection without having sex or what have you. But like it doesn't really seem as though the relationships themselves are geared towards lasting. But I will say, in the defense of Too Hot to Handle, that the show provides resources to the people who are participating. That means they either having like manliness coaching of like what it means to like engage in toxic masculinity and embracing masculinity in a different way. It also talks about relationship building, femininity, and all this other stuff, and like, you know, having a stronger sense of self, having building brotherhood with other people. Wait, I'm talking about the wrong show. Wait, no. They do a little bit of that in Too Hot to Handle, not too much. The other show, Fuckboy Island. There we go. Actually, no. Too Hot to Handle does do that. They do that. But the show, Fuckboy Island, on the other hand, at the end of the show, it also has that monetary thing related to it. So, like, they're on this island with fuckboys and good dudes, and the premise of the show is to figure out. So if y'all haven't realized yet, I watch a lot of relationship reality TV, so forgive me. So the premise of this show is that you have to choose the good guys versus the fuckboys, and there's a lot of fuckboys on these islands. Let me just be clear, and they're very attractive fuckboys. And yes, I would have, like, if I were stuck on this island, I would have been hooking up with like the majority of the fuckboys and the good dudes, because like, you going to deny me? The fuck you mean? We're fucking. Anyways, but the premise of the show is to figure out, do good guys last in the end? So some of the fuckboys, they go on the show knowing that there's a monetary compensation at the end of the show. So they have to woo the women who select them at the end. They have to woo them. And if they like properly woo them, they have the decision to share the money or take all the money with them for themselves. And if not, if they somehow change in the process and become like a good dude and want to be a good dude going forward, that's when they share the money. But the good dudes that's on the show, their main concern is just finding love. So like shows like that, I don't know. It just, whenever there's the monetary attachment to these relationships, it just all seems so phony. It doesn't seem like these things will last. What was that, Nicole?
No, I said I could feel that. I can understand that. Because you're just like, are you just doing all this shit just for the money? Like, are you truly going from the things that you learned or that you got from this, or that you pretended to, I guess? Are you going to actually use this after you win, or or even lose? You might be sour after that and be like, fuck all the shit I just learned, and not use that information that you know is a benefit to you. So I get it.
I definitely recommend watching those shows. They're all on HBO, and HBO is not paying me a motherfucking dime. HBO, contact the motherfucker. Like, I'm sending people your way, so send me a little something, okay? That's all I'm asking. At least give me free service.
Ambassador out here.
Look, give me free access to the content, because Chewing Gum is on HBO, and I still want to go back and rewatch the show. Okay, all of Michaela Cole's shit is on HBO. Well, the majority of Michaela Cole's content is on HBO. Give me free access so I can support that woman, because I love her content. I love her writing. Okay, HBO, find the motherfucker. Thank you. So, something else this is something that somebody suggested that we talk about in relation to dating competition shows for queer people, is creating space for exploring bisexuality. The only dating show that I know of that came out for somebody who was bisexual was it's kind of like The Flavor of Love, but it was for this person. I don't know what the hell they did or what field they were in, and I'm only using they because I don't know Tila Tequila's like pronouns today. So it was a show for Tila Tequila. I forgot.
Tequila.
Yes. And they were like bisexual. So you have men, women, and this person's just engaging with finding love with the other, like whatever the aspects of their identity is. And I think, I feel as though, actually, I know there's a huge lack of representation of bisexuality in a lot of these dating competition shows. So how do y'all feel about that? As well as how can we actively create space for bisexuality within the dating environment?
I feel like that's hard. I mean, the biggest thing that I think of is, that layer of honesty, number one, if you're going to have people who are bisexual on any kind of show, with being honest and, asking that question, like, even before we go on, do you even understand what that means? Because there's still such a huge misunderstanding or, gray area of incorrect information that's out there. People don't truly understand what bisexuality means or can mean. So there's that. But something I was thinking about as you were saying that was like being able to, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it because it sounds kind of crazy because it's a little bit all over the place. But I don't know. I just, for sure, thinking about just being honest in that. But now I remember. So remember how we spoke before about how like heteronormative behaviors in the community, especially like on dating shows and things like that, how that could be something that people are doing to like they're just acting that way just to make others feel comfortable to watch the content. I feel like there might be a level of that as to why we don't see bisexual people on dating shows that might be geared more towards, or could be geared more towards, to people who are in the LGBTQ plus community. Like it's one of those like, well, we'll leave the bis out because people know gay and lesbian and maybe a little bit of something else, but we'll leave the bisexuals out because of whatever reason, because of that misunderstanding or because of that misconception.
They're so confusing.
Right. So we're not going to tackle that at all. We're not going to talk about it. So it just leaves out a whole another group of people, unfortunately, even though they're supposed to be watching something that's made for them, quote unquote. Meanwhile, they're not even represented.
I feel like even with like the, approaching that heteronormative space, I think like when it comes to bisexuality, like even when it came to Tila Tequila's show, it was the conversations I was hearing about it at that age. Oh, this was such a long time ago. Oh my God. But even at that age, I think I was in high school. People were engaging in that as, oh, we're watching somebody select what gender that they're attracted to, rather than accepting that, oh, this person is actually attracted to both. But it's all about like when it comes to being and experience bisexuality, you have to make a choice within which gendered expression that you agree with or that you accept for yourself. Meaning, they decided to go with a female. That means, oh, lesbian. Clock that. I knew it was going to be a lesbian. I knew it all along. Or they select a male. I knew they were straight. I just knew it. But because rather than, like, in a sense, I feel as though the reason why we don't have a lot of more bisexual experiences within these spaces is it gives us an opportunity to participate in confirmation bias where, oh, they were straight the entire time and they just had a phase versus, or, oh, they were gay or lesbian the entire time and they just had a phase with the other genders and whatever. And now that they made their choice, I fully understand that this is who they are. So we can just erase that bisexuality and just call them lesbian, call them straight, call them whatever the case is other than bisexual, because bisexuality is all about, oh, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know exactly what I'm experiencing. I just need, or that person just needs to figure out which one they're more attracted to and keep it moving.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything that they want to add on that before I go into something a little bit different? So this next part is a personal attack on somebody. So this, whoever suggested this topic, they were like, they wanted us to engage in how dating shows seem to feed into our insecurities. Meaning either like our insecure attachment styles, or even how it relates to how we perceive relationships, or what we want or desired in relationships. So how do you feel personally about how dating shows feed into insecurities? And I want to start off with Phortise, then we can go to Adrian, then end it up on Nicole.
What was the question again?
So how does dating shows feed into insecurities?
That's a good question. Sometimes with dating shows, I think it's the level of projection that some people put on with other people. Some people put on a facade where they basically, they try to emulate certain things that they're truly not. And I think sometimes with that being said, it doesn't really give that person a true, oh, damn. Sorry, my thoughts are all over the place. I was kind of caught off guard.
You're good. You're good.
I think with the reality TV shows in general, when it comes to dating, I think that how they feed into it is basically just based on the castmates. What I mean by castmates, it depends on the production team's perception of what what viewers would like to see. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is some people like soul food, some people go for eye candy. That's a lot of emphasis on that. So sometimes with that being said, a lot of people don't put a lot of emphasis on the appearance side, So maybe sometimes when a viewer that does not maybe have high self-esteem may see this person on TV expressing themselves in a way that may be something that they would like to express themselves as, or they look a certain way, it creates this thing where they probably have a distortion of what their reality is or what they feel. So there's a lot of incongruence with that situation. Then also you got to look at the part of what restrictions do they experience as well. Because everything on reality TV, just as Adrian, as Nicole, as you have said, sometimes certain people like push a narrative. So sometimes the production team does not emphasize the truth. So that's why I would say it probably would play into the both an image and also a person's level of thinking. If that makes sense, I don't know, because I got caught off guard.
You're good. No, I like this. This reminds me of like how, like when it comes to feeding into the insecurities of others, like some people, like when you look at dating shows, it gives you the acceptable people that you should be dating. Meaning that when you go out into this world and you find a partner and this is the person that you need to engage in, that they're supposed to look this category. They need to be like that. And if you're not in that category, you shouldn't be dating to begin with. You should not be out here looking to find love because you're imperfect. You're not at the standard of what you're supposed to be in terms of beauty. You're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too unconventional, you're too queer, you're too feminine, you're too well, there's never a objection to being too masculine, so let me not go into that. But there
is
well, you said there is?
Yeah, all femmes don't like studs, so every now and then I'll catch one. I'll be like, damn, you fine. And I'm like, no, thank you.
Well, other than films who love films, I'm talking about like in terms of like dating shows and like that broader image that we see on TV. Like the image of masculinity is like whatever, as long as they're masculine presenting, is supposed to be accepted. And if they're like exhibiting a certain behavior of masculinity too, we're okay with it. But as soon as it goes into you're a little bit weak, you're a little bit feminine, we're going to like downgrade that as not acceptable. That's what I mean when I say there's no objection towards masculinity. But like we I think it feeds into that image of like when like dating someone that's plus size is socially unacceptable in a sense, meaning you have to be engaging with people who are quote unquote fit. You have to be dating with somebody who is attractive, who's not the ugmo in the room. Like if they're the ugmo, then we're not going to see that as a valid relationship. Like somebody settled here rather than these people just had a strong connection with each other and they just love each other. Like I think about all the times I hear people make the statement of, how the fuck did they get that person? Like, ew. Like maybe that person just has a beautiful personality and they weren't looking at the outside that you see, and they saw the inner beauty and the outer beauty of this person, because we all find different things attractive. And rather than accepting that, we want to judge that. So I think a lot of that, like within dating shows, you don't get to see those abnormal, quote unquote, perspectives of the non-attractive beauty standard. We don't get to see outside of the Eurocentric or societal definition of attractiveness, because it's better to continue to push a certain look versus the like any person, if they so choose and have the confidence, can find love kind of narrative. But anyways, y'all's thoughts. I'm sorry, I'm lit.
No, I'm following you. No, I agree. You, like, all of you guys make some really valid points. So I'm kind of like, I don't even know if I have anything different to say to that, because those are all good points. Really good. And you're right that not putting on TV like regular ass, average ass people to date, like, you know, it doesn't fulfill the fantasy of what they're trying to show people on TV. So yeah, people keep on looking at that like, oh well, I'm, you know, I know that I'm beautiful, I know that I'm handsome, I know that I'm this, da da da. But when things don't work out, that's something that might eat at you. You're having a bad day. You're having a day where, you know, you're not your most confident self or whatever, and you can't just get, you know, fly past your day, you know, go through the day and it be okay. If you're just having a day that you're really down, that'll be something that potentially comes back up, and you're sitting here seeing it, or it seems like everywhere you look, everywhere you go, you see all these, you know, quote, pretty people, these perfect people, the desirable people, and you start to feel less about yourself. So yeah, it's real bad, but that's our society right now.
Adrian, you got any comments?
No.
I was hoping you did, because I was trying to come back to the thought that I just had. Y'all, I told y'all I'm lit. I cannot think properly right now.
He said that wasn't enough time to come back to it.
It was not. I had a good question that I want to ask everybody, but it is completely gone right now. Oh my god.
Taylor got it.
Look, Taylor got all the damn questions because, oh my god, I'm gone.
I just ate some really good peaches.
I was wondering what you were eating. I was like, I wonder if that's peaches or the like pineapple or whatever. I was like, I bet it's peaches though.
They were bussin', like super bussin'. I love peaches.
Oh, me too. Most definitely a Georgia peach. Yes. Anyways, so I was definitely being like inappropriate when I said Georgia peach, just to let y'all know.
I'm so sweet and juicy.
Oh, not Adrian said she's sweet and juicy. Oh my god.
Georgia peaches is.
Oh, I was like, okay.
I mean, we'll leave that there.
Exactly.
Right.
Ooh, how sweet you is. Okay. Let me. All right. I remember what I was going to say. Do y'all feel like there should be a space for addressing body dysmorphia within dating competition shows?
Oh yeah.
And, go ahead, speak on it. Phortise, you came all the way out.
Come on, Phortise.
Right?
I mean, yes, because I am passionate about that, because I do sometimes suffer that myself.
Dang.
So I would say that is a very important topic that I think day shows should address, because unfortunately within Western society have this picture perfect idea of how people should look, and I think that should be addressed more on TV shows, because I think, you know, not trying to sound kind of superficial, but it will increase ratings. The reason why I would say that, viewership, because it will have a lot of people relating to that person and creating that vulnerability that a lot of people need. Then it'll make it more acceptable for everyone to at least have that confidence and that ability to heal, and then also to just be able to express their uniqueness and their beauty to other people, so that way other people can just look past that superficial side of things. That's just my input.
I think that's a dope point too. And something else I thought about was it would take away from it just being like that average ass competition type show. You would, like you said, increase your viewership because you've got more people who are actually able to relate. And then also, because of that relation, they might be rooting for one person or this specific person or these two people because of whatever their story is, or them being able to relate to that person, and they want a sense of like living vicariously, like, oh my God, I have the same kind of issue, or I look at myself the same way, I could totally relate. So at least one of us could win. And and then it could help with their own idea of, if this person was able to win, or, quote unquote win, if this person was able to overcome it or whatever the case is and be seen, maybe the same thing could happen to me. So, I mean, I think there's, a few things that could happen with that also. But I agree though, like there definitely needs to be that, because everybody's out here with some unrealistic standards and all kinds of shit. If they see people who look more like them and see how things can change or be accepted, I think it could be helpful.
Yep.
We can't hear you, Vernon.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was doing some mixing over here. I'm sorry. Lit. All right. So one of the things that I appreciate from season 2 of Love is Blind is because they actually had somebody on there who was experiencing some aspects of body dysmorphia. They didn't really I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think they commented on it directly as being such, but she mentioned how she used to be plus size, she lost weight and all these other things, and she also needed like validation from her partner that they were still attracted to her, that he was still feeling her and feeling confident in dating her and getting to know her and all this other stuff, that it was impacting the relationship. And I hate that this would have been a perfect time to just like, oh, let me go ahead and throw a little bit of therapy up in there to spice the connection and make this even stronger, because it was like, if you look from the outside, you can see that the dude, he really did genuinely care for her and he did see her as beautiful, but at the same time, she's going through her own mental battles of dealing with this, dealing with not knowing for sure how much he loves her or how much he appreciates her body regardless of what her size. And I thought that provided a great opportunity to have these conversations that I believe the people of season 2 failed to address. But like having more willingness to communicate about body dysmorphia, to show that this is something that shows up in a variety of different spectrums. It's not all about just, this person happens to be trans and they're experiencing that, because, gender dysphoria also is linked with, body dysmorphia and all these other things. But like to acknowledge that we all do experience this at some point, most definitely in the society that tells you that your body type is unbeautiful, so that sometimes you might engage with somebody who needs that reassurance that you find them attractive, that they need that, even if they on 6 days out of the week they find themselves beautiful, like they're amazing, that they are the shit, but day 7 sometimes they're just not there for themselves and they need that reassurance that, hey, I found you attractive because of who you are and not because you look a certain way. They need that that affirmative language that I'm going to be there to support you regardless if you decide to eat a cheeseburger. Like, I will join you with eating that cheeseburger. Like, I want to be here because I love you and I care for you. And having space to have those conversations is really needed to address some of the insecurities that people do have within their relationships. And I think that will only better the viewership of these shows. It will also better the quality of relationships of other people, because a lot of the times when I see these dating shows, specifically Love is Blind, I love the show solely because it does break the mold in a way, by engaging in the context of a person, the character of the person, but before the physicality of the person. And it also shines a light on how superficial some people can be when it comes to building these relationships. And it's a conversation that is needed within society, within our own individual relationships, so we can identify what aspects of this person do I identify with, and how are they moving through this? How are they developing through that, so that they can build a healthy relationship? So, but that's my little tangent there. Anybody else who wants to speak on body dysmorphia and how that may relate into building relationships as it like in terms of like these dating competition shows? We're all good. Okay, so the last topic of this episode, I may have some additional questions on this too, is the lack of representation of diverse body types in dating shows. What y'all got for me?
There are no fatties unless it's all fatties. Like, not to say fatty is a mean word. I'm reclaiming it.
We love fatties.
I do. That's hilarious.
And voluptuous.
I've never been
thick. And plus size. I'm sorry. It's the Taylor Port. I'll be silent.
He's not like always have. No matter what size I am, I like me a full-figured lady. Like it's just bones don't feel nice. So no offense to the bones. Like y'all had y'all place, y'all fun. I could love tossing you around, but I love just a warm woman that's large. All right, anyway. Oh, so yeah. It's always like either everybody's like super skinny or like, conventionally attractive, or it's like all the biggest heifers you can find anywhere type shit. And then even when they have like plus size competitions, they are not like, it's some fine ass big girls on this planet, man. Like that, like just you just like you can't help but be like attracted to them. Like they are just delicious. But they'll never be on TV. And I don't get it because they exist. But like it's almost like a conspiracy of the beauty industry to be like, all right, big bitches, we're gonna let y'all shine a little bit, but don't get crazy. Like, understand your place. It's still skinny bitches over everything. And it's just like, is it though? Niggas is like a full-figured woman. Like, niggas is wanting to lay on something plush. We like plush mommies over here. Fupa, that's an invitation. Like, that ain't no the food. What you hide to pull your pants down, let the thing hang out. So I'm gonna be down there. I'm gonna lay down. I might go to sleep in it. It is what it is. Like, you can't sleep on no bones. You could, but your neck gonna hurt. It's not ergonomic. So all I'm saying is bring back beautiful big bitches. Thank you for coming to my TikTok.
Oh, I should not be laughing this hard.
Yo, I'm weak. Listen, Adrian out here preaching out here. Somebody give her a soapbox for real. Give her the mic because she out here preaching. Pass the collection plates. She preaches. That was good.
That was good. That was good. You said what needed to be said, but what do we have to add on to that conversation?
I don't even know where we were anymore because I just got caught up in the sermon.
Right? I felt seen for a second. I was like, bitch, you already know.
Me too. I was like, hold on, is she talking about me though? First of all, are you talking about me or are you flirting? Like, which one is it? Because, and then back to the sermon. I was like, I got it. It's always both.
It's always both.
Say it louder, Vernon.
I've learned. I didn't catch it when we were back in college, but I know today after having conversations with this hoe, it's always both.
That is funny.
The flirtation is natural with this hoe. But honestly, like when Adrian was talking, I was thinking about Natasha Rothwell because I love that bitch because oh my god, she's so beautiful. Oh my god, like thickness on fleek. Anyways, but like I think about all these beautiful thick people that's out here in this world who's not getting the shine that they need just because they don't meet a certain standard. Like let's be real. Like even with Natasha, she is beauty. Like when I tell you, like most of the times I watch Insecure, I was hoping that she would be in the motherfucking episode because she was forever letting you know, y'all thick bitches ain't got nothing on me. But at the same time, we're friends. Just know that because I love you, I respect you, but I can still get the dick if I wanted to. And I'm like, bitch, that's all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be said. Like, I hope some edges was like put together on that. I hope you got the swoop to do on your edges on that. I hope you got it. Laid good and flat, okay?
Yes.
Oh God. But anyways, Nicole, what's your perspective on like the lack of representation of diverse bodies in dating shows?
No, I mean I agree mostly with what Adrian was saying. I mean, there really isn't. Anytime you do see any kind of body types that are outside of the, real thin or just the super fit, it's usually just a show completely about nothing but plus size people. And, and that's kind of wrong. I mean, okay, great, give them a show for themselves and stuff like that, but that's not real life though. Like, if you guys are trying to make something that seems more more realistic, then do that, as well as, again, like, really making the most out of being diverse and inclusive in your representation. Why not capitalize on that in that way, and in a way that people will be like, oh, I wonder what's going to have on the next show. You're going to have even more people. Like, you're missing out on a whole niche, a whole market of people, because you're just sticking to this one standard, when we all know that the probability of you going out there and finding one of these people that look like these people on the show is actually a lot smaller than they're trying to make it seem anyway. So stop acting like people who are outside of what that looks like on dating shows stop acting like they're unlovable or they're unattainable. Like, they're people just like everybody else. So get it in there.
That part. Like, I truly would love to see a lot of more big people representation out here in these streets, because like, we're not people that you need to just like act as though you're only attracted to behind closed doors, because look, we're beautiful out front, we love ourselves, we are great people, and I will admit some of us do not love each other ourselves, because we're perpetually sent the messages that we should not be loving ourselves, that loving ourselves is unworthy because it's outside of the norm, and you don't fit the category of being deserving to love yourself. That's real. That's something that exists in this society that we live in. But at the end of the day, we should aspire to be in a position where, at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about yourself, I'm still beautiful. I'm still great. That the love that you see from me is something that's authentic, that you yourself wish that you can have for yourself. So like, let's be real. And I wish, like, I love seeing like content from Lizzo, to be real, because it's a reminder that outside of anything, outside of the hate that people send Lizzo's way, there's still that self-love that's important, that there's still that acknowledgement that I'm deserving of whatever I need for myself, that I don't have to settle for anything less than. I can make the mold for myself, because bitch, I don't fit that European standard mold. I don't fit the societal mold, because bitch, these thighs already told you that it does not go above that limit. So I'm going to build it myself, because that's who the fuck we are. And I would love to see, like, even when we talk about diverse bodies, showing that love for people who may have like prosthetics or anything of that nature, or any person who may have a disability, because that's important too, because they're beautiful people in these aspects of life as well. And I love that Oranges is the New Black highlighted that one officer who had one leg. And I was like, I love that, because it shows that regardless of who they are, they're still a beautiful person. Because let's be real, I would have fucked it too. I would have been like, hello, how are you doing, officer? Here I am, cuff me right now. Like, because motherfucker was attractive. Like, I'm here for it. Don't judge me, judge your mama for raising you that way, okay? Judge your daddy for raising you that way, if they raised you. So we're not judging Vernon today. That's the Taylor Port speaking, and it said what it needed to say. Okay, anyways, back to this conversation. Phortise, what is your perspective as it relates to diverse body types in dating shows? Or well, the lack of diverse body types, or representation of diverse body types in dating shows?
I really can't add on anything else, because I do feel like I agree with you all, because there have to be more representation for different body types. But once again, you still have this norm, the regular, the eye candy people. I call them eye candy people simply because they have this ideal physique that everybody tries to follow up most times. So I really can't add on anything to it. But all I can say is I hope that there will be someone or a group of people will actually have the courage to actually put that more on television, so they can actually be able to be amongst people who are like skinny and all that. because I do agree, like, with sometimes if they do separate plus size people, that's not really them being inclusive. That is not really being inclusive. Being inclusive, truly inclusive, is when you put everybody of different shapes and sizes in one group, in one category, so that way they get an equal opportunity to actually express themselves and actually be able to show what they got to bring to the table. Because everybody, just because you're a skinny person, that does not necessarily mean you're going to bring everything to the table. I'm sorry to say that.
Yep.
So with that being said, I think a lot of people need to open their eyes and, like, you know, smell the coffee or whatever they need to smell in order to get a bigger picture here. So I do agree with everyone on this note.
Now, so going off of body types, because I know that we like in the discussion of different body forms and whatnot, it often goes into like the plus size perspective. But I will also add that there is an additional perspective, most definitely, when we think about the societal norms of what people look at. And I think for yourself, Phortise, this will be something that is you will have commentary on, and that is like when it comes to people of a shorter stature too, when people who are short are seen as being less masculine or less deserving of love. Because I've been seeing a lot of reports of people who are going off to spend like thousands of dollars just to get taller because their partners is the people that they're interested in are only attracted to tall men or tall people. And I don't like that concept at all, because look, if you love me, you love me for me. But like, how do you feel about the lack of representation of shorter statured people as it relates to finding love and just the validation of their existence, that regardless of how tall I am, I'm still a man, I'm still masculine, or I'm still deserving of love? How do you feel about that?
I agree with that. I think, unfortunately, a society as a whole, for some odd reason, not everybody, but they have this thing with short people. They feel like just because you're short, you have to overcompensate. I do hate that, because sometimes I do feel like I have to overcompensate for certain things, and that shouldn't be the case. And I do think they need to incorporate more people that are shorter in stature, because I think it's just only fair. I don't think, it's a fair trade when you have people who are taller, but, you have tall people who are very feminine, and there's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is, be very inclusive of everybody, because short people got a lot to bring to the table as well. Like they say, small things come with big packages or whatever. I don't know, I said it backwards, but whatever, same difference. Point is, so that's how I feel about that. So I do agree with you. They have to do better with that, because unfortunately, they have this thing where masculine, you have to be tall, you have to be well defined and with muscles and all that. And shoot, I don't need all those damn requirements, but it's okay.
And the thing I'm going to add before I go into the other panelists on this conversation, look, if you find yourself out there feeling, you like to take down trees and whatever, Vernon is a tree that is open to being taken down. I'm just going to say that this is Taylor Port speaking, and we're going to accept that for what it is. Shut up, Adrian, because I know where your mind is going. But this is a tree that exists to be like chop a motherfucker down. Okay. Anyway, so Nicole, how do you feel about that conversation? Not what I just said.
I was gonna say, I think Taylor's really loud right now, and
loud as fuck, bitch.
He's taking over the show right now. I'm just saying.
Taylor said, "I'm here, and I'm going to enjoy where I'm."
Because nobody asked you, Taylor. You just decided to be out here and be like, "I'm gonna be seen today," as if we haven't been seeing you. Okay.
Ruthless. Look, I have some people that has been hitting me up, and I'm just like, we shall see how this goes. But on a different note, Nicole.
That aside, I agree with Phortise on that though. Like, there's just so much. How do I want to put this? I don't know. I'm gonna sidetrack that. But I still agree with what Phortise is saying though, because like this whole having to overcompensate for, or feeling like you have to overcompensate instead of just being able to be your whole self, really, and just be accepted for who you are, because it isn't always about It isn't always about height. It isn't always about looks and all this other kind of stuff. Like, just, why can't people just like people for who they are? Why does it have to be, this label, this box, this certain standard that's not even realistic to begin with? So yeah, I think it's wrong. I think it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I don't have anything else.
Short Zaddy, what's up? Adrian, that was you. Everybody on this damn panel is taller than you. I'm just gonna let that be known.
Don't do her like this.
My business out there. But what do I always say? We are the same height laying down. And that's all that matters.
But are we?
You will be.
Oh. Oh my.
Straight for the knees, Vernon. Straight for the knees.
It's straight up Tropicana. Caribbean sunset. This is not an ad. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about?
You said we're the same size when we all laying down. That's what Taylor remembers.
But that can't be the question for the show.
So I might need help on this one. Hold up. Go backtrack, Vernon. Backtrack. Okay, so essentially, we were talking about, people of the shorter stature and how, society may see individuals being less than men and all these other things. And just like the lack of representation of shorter individuals finding love. And also the how some people feel as though they need to change their height in order just to find love. So something within that is what we were talking about.
I check it. I'm not finna try to grow for love, because if it ain't happened by now, it's not gonna happen. I don't want to manipulate my bones. I need these niggas for at least another 70 years. So I'm gonna let them be how they is. Also, being short actually does demasculatize you.
Emasculate.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, college. Anyway.
Okay. Should we bring up the word that you brought up last episode?
Because you know my nigga too.
Surreptitious? Just because you don't know one word, that doesn't. Okay.
I could have got that out the back of a Cheerio box. You don't know.
Now you know damn well Cheerio is not being like, hold up, are you
little
surreptitious
calendar,
today?
the little calendar with all the words of the day and shit. Yeah, I mean, even if you did, at least you put them to good use.
But it does, as a masculine presenting individual, whenever some girls, when we meet, they're just like, oh, you're so short, and I'm just like, yes. But then something will happen before, I lose points for being short, but then I do some super strong shit, and then those points I lost for being short go up more for being strong. So it's they overlook the fact that I'm shorter than them, because when they're with me, they feel a level of safety that they don't feel with nobody else. So it's I'm short in real life, but I'm tall in their mind. And it's you can't always make that connection with everybody though. So a lot of times, yeah, you do definitely lose points for being short, which is so fucked up. But I love the girls that's just I don't give a fuck about that shit. You cute. That's it. I'm just yes. Thank you.
And honestly, I feel like that's all that really does need to matter. If you find me attractive, that's it. We should not have to go into a space where we have to define why we find a certain person attractive. It shouldn't be because you have this certain educational background, this certain look, this certain height, this certain skin tone, all these other shit. I am not a product. I may present myself as a product because, branding and all these other things, but I'm still a human at the end of the day. And with that comes false, it comes flaws. It comes with different identity. It comes with different perspectives. It comes with different ideology. It comes with growth. It comes with different understanding. Like, if you cannot appreciate that, then you don't need to be here. You don't need to be with me, because why? Like, you don't have to be like, oh, I find you attractive for a black man. I find you attractive for a big person. If you have to say that, if you have to qualify my attractiveness on something completely outside of who I am, or outside of just my character, then what's the purpose of like going further into getting to know you? Because clearly you're only engaging with me and my attractiveness on some superficial shit, rather than the characterized version of me, rather than the conversation I'm having with you. So yeah. But anyways, the Taylor is interrupting a lot of things in this broadcast, so I'm trying to decipher some things. Yes. Don't judge me. Oh my goodness. So, how? I don't know. How thou brown cow. Anyways, I'm lit.
Clearly.
How are y'all feeling?
I mean, I think we all on a certain level right now. Earth ain't it.
Yes.
I am for sure.
I'm on a level that I'm not typically on, and I like it for myself that I'm here. Now I have to figure out what the fuck am I going to do for the live recording that we're going to have, Nicole. Oh my God.
Yeah, because do we want you this gone, or?
I can't be this gone because I'm not going to remember what the fuck we're talking about.
True, because you know how you be bringing up questions and not writing them shits down. You just be holding on until people stop talking and you forget.
Like, for real.
Are we live right now? It says recording.
We are recording, but it's a little bit different. We're not like exposed to like outside people right now. Granted, I did get like somebody random like followed me on Instagram, and they're very cute. And not to say that I'm going to engage in that in terms of building anything, but I'm enjoying the attention.
They're very cute. We love that for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like attention, but then I also get overwhelmed. So then it's just debate.
Overwhelmed. Let's go ahead. Let's unpack. We're here now.
That's a different session.
We are here now.
But to answer your original question, Adrian, no, we're not live right now. He just will, record this and go back and edit and all that good stuff. So no, we're not live.
Y'all know damn well I don't edit anything.
Oh,
okay.
I put it up on purpose and he still won't take it out.
I will literally shorten the breaks in like the conversation just so that everything is flowing properly. But I'm not going to take out any like actual things, like any actual content, because like low-key, because I like do the breaks and like shorten the things without listening to the episode. So when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, okay, so what is actually going to be related in this section of the episode towards a later portion of the episode? And I'm not going to go back and go back and be like, okay, let me take this completely out. No. And I know Adrian had her moments of like, oh, you gonna take this out? And I'm just like, no, because she knows I'm not. Laziness is wrong.
He would actually make it the fucking title, and I'd just be ashamed every time it uploaded.
If you do not get over this booty palm situation, that was the best title of any fucking episode, and I'm definitely going to enter that episode into like some award show next year for the purposes of, do y'all know about booty pong? If not, let's talk about it.
The Hall of Fame episodes.
Listen.
The best of Hoeing.
The best of. All right, so that we can go ahead and wrap up everything, and I can figure out what the fuck these other people are on. Does anybody? Don't be looking at me like that, Adrian.
Like what?
I feel like snacked on a little bit.
Snacked on? Like I'm eating you?
Ooh, are you? Do you want to? Ooh. Nicole, don't mind us. Do not mind.
Fucking mess. I'm good.
You can watch.
Ooh.
I mean, right?
Wait, aren't you going to be on next week too?
What?
Because Adrian, you remember, I'm coming to your apartment next weekend.
Yes.
And we will be recording for like the other episodes for November.
Yeah.
And I don't know for sure. Nicole, are you here for next weekend or not?
I don't think so. I don't think that's what you booked me for. If you don't want me, that's fine. Someone else will want me.
I feel gaslit for some reason. I don't know if it's the Taylor and I'm just like in my feelings, or you're actively gaslighting me right now. I don't know which one is the case because I'm a little bit like over.
No, I'm actively fucking with you. No, I'm not next week.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think you're done with me right now until September.
I would never be done with you.
Or September. Until whatever, 2 months from now, whatever.
Oh, we do have that thing with Wesley in September.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is calling me?
And then we have our episode. The sex coach episode.
We do have that.
Yeah.
Which, technically speaking, that episode will air before this one. Look at that. So let's go ahead and wrap everything up because I don't know who the fuck is calling me right now because I don't recognize his number, and I hope it's nobody that's looking for a ride because bitch, you stranded at this point because I cannot drive. I
thought it was somebody that you were talking to whilst doing the show. That's what I thought it was, but you know what? Let me mind my business.
I don't know who the hell this is. We'll figure it out. But anyways, does anybody else have any last words that they would like to share with the audience before I close everything out? All right, that's a no from everybody, and I think I'm going to have to like give myself a space to pray so I can absolve myself of my sins today.
What makes you Catholic?
Look, I've been doing some very, very bad things this weekend.
Okay.
I need to be absolved, and I need some hands to be laid upon me.
See, I knew it. It was good for a second, right? And then that lift went straight up left. I don't
We're in the fields at this point. All right, so I'm going to like backtrack all my wholeness and be great, okay, without any judgment from Nicole and or Adrian and or Phortise today. But outside of that, I do want to say thank you all so much for coming on to the podcast. You know, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Now to my wonderful and beautiful audience, because first and foremost, let y'all know we will be going on break because this is airing in November. And after, like, look, December, I'm not giving y'all any kind of content. I'm not giving you content in January. I'm not giving you content in February. I'll catch y'all in March, whatever that first Wednesday and or Saturday. I think it's the first Saturday. That's when the podcast will be coming back. Because the nigga will be on break. Thank you so much. We will be here for season 3. Season 4 is going to be a break for myself as I get my life together. So, with that said, thank you all so much for listening to the Hoeing podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. And just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful. You are worthy of happiness and joy. I'm on that teleport. Yes, Lord. You are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is definitely okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. Now remember, keep this with yourself. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, I love you all, and I'll see you all next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy Podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.